The last question goes to the natural gas safety issue that Senator Hill mentioned earlier. A little different part of the system down in Southern California, and as you know, my district and the broader LA was impacted greatly by the Aliso Canyon blowout. The data we've seen shows a marked increase in utilization of that storage asset in LA. By our counting, over 3,000% increase since the withdrawal protocol was changed. Can you comment on the plans for utilization of Aliso and really whether there's still a commitment to do the diligence on that feasibility of closure analysis in that expedited timeframe the governor discussed?
Yes, Senator, and we are. We do have the amount of money, we have budgeted an amount of money that the governor directed last fall, and that money still is maintained in the budget to do a very thorough analysis of Aliso, and we will have that underway as soon as the budget's approved. I'm going to turn to Ed to give you some of the specifics. I have not seen the backup information regarding the number of usage. I've heard that number and I was puzzled by it. I just realized it in the last few days. So Ed, can you?
Sure. And, Senator Stern, on the first point, just to kind of reiterate the timing, as you're very aware, since you've been tracking this even since before you were Senator, Governor Brown had, through the CEC, had directed had asked the PUC to look at feasibility of closing the field down within 10 years and come up with a specific plan to do that, which goes beyond what SB 380 had done. As you know, there have been some challenges in contracting issues for consultants, but the PUC is committed to that analysis on looking at what it would take to close the field down, within 10 years of the date that Governor Brown had made that suggestion, which is 2027. And then also looking at longer term, at the 2045 as we do long-term planning around that as well. As far as the specific issue of the increases of withdrawals at Aliso Canyon, it should be emphasized that the most important change in operation as it impacts safety is the volume of gas that's stored in the field. And as you're aware, before the rupture at Aliso Canyon, the maximum capacity of that field was 86 billion cubic feet. SB 380 requires the PUC to set a limit that is based on the maximum amount that's needed for providing reliability at just and reasonable rates. So we look at that as a balance of both the absolute reliability, but also impacts on wholesale and retail gas markets. That was set at 34 billion cubic feet. And at this moment in time, we have no intention of changing that cap on how much can be stored in the field. There was some maybe inartfully worded press reports recently that made it sound like the utility wanted to increase the storage up to 86 billion cubic feet again. But they would not be allowed to do that. The cap is at 34. As far as the withdrawals, yes, they have gone up. That 3,000% number is not based on the number of withdrawals, but the volume that's been withdrawn over the last 2 years compared to the 2 years after they began withdrawing from the field again. But that's a little bit of an apples to oranges comparison, given very importantly that the 2019 and 2020 were collectively colder than the previous 2 years, and so there was higher gas demand overall. And then the challenges that we have had with SoCalGas and a number of their major pipelines being out of service to reduce pressure.